Go ahead.
Alright, can you see me at all? What if I stand here? Is that good?
Yeah.
Alright, so by this point we have started our cash drawer. Can you turn the music down a little bit? Thanks. So at this point we have started our cash drawer and we are ready for the order taking portion of the cashier's responsibilities. A couple things I want to get into first is this is our main ordering screen. In between orders, I like to keep it on this caller ID function, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But for the time being, familiarize yourself with this main ordering screen. There is a couple of segments of the screen that you need to get used to. Here is where everything that you've put into the system for the current order will be. And if you need to call up old orders, say somebody calls, they want to change something, or somebody comes up to the register, they're ready to pay, you can do that too. That has to do with the order lookup thing, which we'll get to in time. Let's start up at the top left. You got your order type, the time, obviously, a hold order button, a gratuity button, which will be useful when we start talking about prepaid like Grubhub orders, and the customer. When an order comes in, on the phone for example, usually, as I say, we start with the caller ID. So I will pick the line of the person that's calling, and I'll pick it up. And then that customer's information will automatically populate this customer field. It will also ask us what kind of order it is, whether it's a pickup or a delivery. And I always start with pickup because the system needs the least amount of information, and we can go on with the order and then just go in and put that information in later. And that has to do with this customer button right here. So again, we'll start with pickup. Now the first thing that it'll ask us for is the customer's phone number. And the reason that it does that is because, like I just showed with the caller ID screen, once the system has that, if we have information on that customer already, it will automatically populate the rest of the fields. So I'm going to, as a test, put in my own phone number. I don't want to say you like selling this phone number on eBay either. So I put in my phone number and it automatically came up with my name and my address. You see how here it says use last order? That can be useful. Sometimes it's not, but when we are able to ask the customers, hey, do you want the same thing as last time? We can save them time and energy, and sometimes they really appreciate it. But I'm going to say no, just so we can move on with our demonstration. Once we're done with this part up here, look up here and you'll see the different types of things that we order. Now all of our pies, whether they're basic, classic, or signature pies, are in this pies little tab thing. And when we go into the different ones, you see that these options change. So starting with pies, we can see that all of our pies, they're in numerical order, so starting with the basic, moving on to the classic, and then here we go into the signature. And you see how 31 is the last one on this screen, but it's not the last pie that we offer. There's a down arrow right here. That takes you to the rest of the options. And these arrows are going to be consistent, not just through the items, but through the modifiers, which we'll get into in just another second. So again, we got our pies, our farcitos, the salads, beverages, desserts, sides. This is when people want an extra dressing, or a side of crushed red pepper, pizza sauce, etc. Even napkins and silverware packs. Now there's no charge for those, but we do want to account for those things anyway. Finally, some miscellaneous items, again, just for accounting purposes. They won't get charged for asking for a box, but we want to know that that stuff has left the store. And finally, the dough balls, which we're now selling in the 10, 14, and 18-inch size. So, we've got our type of order and customer thing. We've got our type of items. Now let's get into this main meaty portion of it. Let's go ahead and pick an example of a pie that somebody might want. And that could be an 18-inch cacciatore. Now, as soon as we chose that, A, it showed up here, where we knew that it would, because that's the stuff that the person has ordered. And B, this changed from the pies that we offer to the different modifiers that we offer. And here, as you can see, some things are blue and some things are green. The difference is the blue things are not on this particular pie yet. However, cheese, pepperoni, ham, bacon, garlic, onion sounds like a cacciatore, right? And for good reason. That means the system is doing its job. However, if this customer wanted to, for example, have extra pepperoni, all that we would do is, you see this little section down here, it's got extra, half one, half two, whole, and light. Well, if we wanted extra pepperoni, we could just do extra pepperoni. Or if, for example, we wanted to do, I don't know, half of it with no garlic, we would just pick either one of these halves, and it doesn't really matter, but either one of the halves, and then just push on something that's green, and all of a sudden there's no garlic. And do you see how we're on half one that's highlighted here? And then if we go up here, it's got our cacciatore with our extra pepperoni, but H1, half one, no garlic. That's exactly what we want to see. Let's see, what else? Is there anything else that we want on this whole pizza? Maybe we want to do light sauce. So again, we're just going to go down to here, light, and if we don't see it here, we know that it must be down here somewhere. Oops. Dun, 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 dun. That's not what we wanted. We wanted to do light pizza sauce. So now, again, here, on that half, we got light pizza sauce. What's that, you say? We want light sauce on the whole thing? We can do that. So again, we just go down here. Right now, only half one is highlighted, but if we go to half two, we can do light pizza sauce. And look how it changed. From half one light pizza sauce, now it just says light pizza sauce, as in do that over the whole pie. Okay, so now we have taken care of this particular one cacciatore order, and we have also explained this top left quadrant of the screen. We've got the top right here. A couple things I just want to point out, actually mostly just one thing. If this customer wants to change the size of their pizza, right now they got the 18-inch, and that's highlighted, that's good. But if they want it to be a 14-inch, the system could do that too. Or even a 10-inch, the system could do that too. And it automatically updates the price, not just of the item, but of the extras, and it calculates the tax for us. I mean, this is why we got the system to begin with. But I like the idea of the 18-inch. Okay, so now we've done this, we've explained this, even done this. Oh, one more thing that we should note is that when somebody orders a salad, that's good. It means that the system is asking us if we want to do the lunch special automatically, and I think that we do. But when we order any salad, again, the modifiers come up. It's got the croutons and the Parmesan for our Caesar, but it's up to us to enter which kind of dressing they want. So again, I'm going to start this over. So I'm going to remove this item. Say we want a salad, and let's not do a Caesar. What kind of salad would you like? A Greek. Okay. So we go to Greek. Everything that's already on there is already highlighted, and we want to make sure. Usually they want the Greek dressing, but for kicks, let's say that they want ranch. So ranch, they're not charged for their first dressing. However, if they wanted a second dressing, they'll be charged for that, and it's the same price that's on the menu. So they want the two dressings. They got the salad. So far, so good. No fuss, no muss. Finally, we get down to the bottom portion of our main ordering screen. It's got our collect, quick credit, send, defer order, exit, order lookup, print, no sale, log off, and caller ID. We'll start left to right. The caller ID feature, as I showed before, well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this order so that it stays in the system and we don't have to do anything with it. It's still right there with order A. We can pull it up anytime. But again, let's hold this order so we can go back to caller ID, starting on the left as we are. And in here, when a customer calls, their caller ID information will be pulled up. Now, it won't be the name that's in our system. It'll be the name from their telephone service provider. However, once we go into that line from that caller, then in that customer section, that's where the information we've got from them will come up automatically. I like to keep it on here in between orders so that if somebody calls, we're ready to take it easy. That's what caller ID does. No sale, as we can. Actually, I don't want to no sale this one yet, but it would just cancel out everything here and we could start from scratch. Log off logs me as the person who's logged in through my fingerprint off the system so that the next cashier could come in and they could take the order, but they'd have to log on first. But it's good because we want to know who's taking which orders. Order lookup gives us the chance, I'm going to hold this order again, gives us the chance to look at all of the different types of, all the different orders that have been placed today. So, like I said, if somebody comes in and is ready to pay, or if somebody calls on the phone and wants to change their order, or they walk up to the register and want to change their order. What we would do is we would go to order lookup, and this is where all the orders would be. Up here it says order type, all. I like to have it on all, but if there's a lot of orders and you want to narrow it down, feel free to just pick whichever order it is that you're looking for, and it'll limit the list to those kind of orders. But again, I like all because it keeps everything consistent. Also down here you see where it says paid, unpaid, both. I like to keep it on both, so it just shows us all the different orders. Another option that we have in this screen is you could search by the customer's phone number, by their order number. It can be useful. And that's about it. So that's how to look up an order. Print, that just prints the customer's receipt. I don't know if this one will be able to do that because, well, we have to save it first. But when it's a completed order, or at least we've sent it to the kitchen, that's when we can print the receipt, and we can print a kitchen receipt or a customer receipt, anything. Finally, we've got defer order, exit, quick credit, send, collect. Very cool. So defer order, let's start with this one first. Let's say that I want this order, but I don't want it until 3 p.m. this afternoon. So I'll click on defer order. I will click on 3 p.m. this afternoon. And because we want to give our kitchen adequate time, I like to put this one on the highest setting so that the ticket for them prints out nice and early. They can keep it on their own deferred order part of the prep line. And then it'll be ready when I get here at 3. But they won't start making it till after that, so it's fresh when I get here. Once I've put in all this information, when the order's due, the prep time, so when it's going to print, you'll notice that this is this much time before this. And then I just do defer order. Cool. Now order number is deferred, and we've got a customer actually coming in right now, so we're going to take care of them and be back in 1 minute.